What's up, everyone? Why'd you shoot me here? Playing some domination on firing range using the AK-47 with extended mags, as you can see. In this game, I'm using the Blackbird chopper gunner dog setup. I don't normally use that, but I decided to use it in this game because we were playing in the lobby before on firing range and they sucked, and I got a ton of kills with low kill streaks. So I was like, what the hell? Let's try. So I'm playing with my friend Ben here. So I'm not really playing as much objective because he usually runs around and goes for flags, and so I don't have to. Um, but I don't know. When I have those kill streaks on, I tend to play quite defensive and I wouldn't say slow paced, but the beginning here is kind of slow. I can't really find people. I'm just kind of waiting for them to get to C because usually they end up coming back from C, and which guy did, but he got killed. So the other day I was thinking to myself, growing up, I was never allowed to play first person shooters in my house. My parents just thought it was bad, and maybe if it'd make me do bad things or something, like I guess be violent or kill someone, or I don't even know. But so obviously I went to all my friends' houses and I always played first person shooters there. Because if you're not allowed to do it at home, where do you go? Your friend's house. You always got a friend that's got unlimited freedom, and so you go there and hang out with him and do all the bad things that your parents wouldn't want you to do. And I always thought to myself, like, why, like, playing, for example, playing Halo. I'm not going to play Halo and be like, oh, you know what, this is fun. Maybe I should go try this in real life and go kill someone or whatever. But, like, parents are right, I guess. I'm sure there's some kids out there that are mentally not stable, and things like this could help them, help motivate them to do bad things and wrong things, and maybe shoot up something, go to war when their parents don't want them to go to war. But like FPS games, they're I don't know. I don't think they're bad by any means. There's games like Grand Theft Auto. That's a different story. I could see a kid maybe being like, that's how you treat women. You pay them to have sex with them or whatever, and you beat them up after and take the money back or something. But still, you'd have to be pretty crazy to actually act upon it. See what to act upon what you see in a video game. But I don't know. My kids, I'm gonna let them play, first person shooters in video games. One thing I found with games like Call of Duty and Battlefield, not so much Halo, obviously, maybe 20 years from now, but it's it almost makes you wanna go to war. It makes you wanna be like, hey, you know what? This could be fun. Obviously, it's not like this kind of scenario, but if you ever played single player, it seems pretty cool. And you wonder, like, oh, would I actually be able to do it? Would it just be, I get there and then shit my pants, or how is it gonna work? And so you always ask yourself, like, could I handle war? I know people that could never ever even consider killing a person, even if it is for war. It would never ever go to war, and so these games don't do anything. But for myself, I would never go to war right now, obviously in my life, because of I'm getting married and things like that, and probably gonna be starting a family here in the next couple of years. But I'm not saying that these games have necessarily influenced me to go to war, but they've kind of helped. It's pure white propaganda kind of thing for, like, this is how war is. But then again, a lot of people in the Middle East aren't playing Black Ops or PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 or anything like that. So they have their own ways, but they video games tend to do that. They make war look fun, and also too, war video games are the best, and especially with one thing I loved about Modern Warfare when it first came out, Call of Duty 4, is that it was that's what war is. Obviously, that's not exactly what war is like, but this is kind of how it is now. All the previous war games and stuff, well, than Battlefield, have always been World War II, World War One kind of thing, and so you don't ever consider, like, oh, maybe I could go do that, because you can't unless you have a time machine, and in that case you could do a lot more things. And so these games, I don't know what they do to little kids, because my little brother is not allowed to play, so I don't know if he would play if he'd maybe considered being like, oh, I want to join the army, that looks badass, or if he's just like, it's just a game, just playing it. First in this game, some guy gets two chopper gunners, and so it makes it so I can't call in my my second chopper gunner. It's kind of annoying because he only gets like 10 kills total with both of them. But what can you do? And little kids with being influenced on games, you just don't know if kind of what goes on in their heads and stuff. Because there'll be something I find out maybe with my kids, and who knows what war games maybe they're gonna change them from being our wartime to future war like Halo. I'd expand more on that because who knows, maybe in the next 20 years times could change and that could be what war's like, or it could just be kind of the same, or who knows, maybe we'll cause so much destruction to the earth that we'll end up going back into the dark ages and we're back to swords and arrows and then back into evolution of war. But it's I don't know, it's interesting what could happen with things and how games can affect you. But I'm never any kind of violent game I play is never gonna. I'm never ever gonna go try to buy an assault rifle and go shoot up some people. It's not practical. It's not something I do. I don't want to go to jail. But war is, I don't know. I live in Canada, and if the war ever came to Canada, like it was ever taking place in Canada, I would definitely consider, like really consider going to war and defending my country. But because it's not, there's just plenty of people out there. We're not drafting people right these days, so we have the people that are going to war. And one thing you can do is support them, especially in Canada and the States, both countries. Support your troops. They're even if you disagree with the war, it's not their fault. They're going to war to help defend the country. And still support them. It's the people that are way up there that aren't actually in the war, aren't actually in the front lines that are sending them there. So just gotta do what we can. But so yeah, this game I'm kind of owning, doing pretty solid, playing defensively. That spot there, this ledge right here, is just probably the best spot you can have in on firing range. If you can control the spawns, they're going to be coming from there. There's nothing they could do. A nade is not going to do anything to you, especially because I'm always running flak jacket too. And I don't know, I shouldn't have kind of ran out there like that. I just got shot. I should have checked that window first. But I go to use my second chopper gun, and this douchebag has his up still. Kind of sucks, but by the time I get it out, the game ends. But yeah, so I have a pretty solid score. This is not the kind of games I normally have, so I don't. You're never gonna see me with a game that's like 180 to 180 kills and 3 deaths. It's just not like me. But yeah, so I call my chopper, get the door. Oh, don't even get the door open. Yeah, so that's the game. We beat them, spanked them. I went 51-3. I got 2 defends at least. Yeah, take care, everyone.